Hello everyone, I'm Philip Duncan. What a positive day today is. We've got rain falling around dry parts of northern New Zealand, which now you could probably argue aren't very dry. The rain was quite heavy. First time I've woken up this year to a downpour. So solid downpours coming across the North Island. It's this week low that's bringing it in, and we've got a big high to the south. So between the two, a windy squash zone that went through Auckland yesterday afternoon and then blasted Te Aroha in the eastern Waikato overnight and into this morning. Now those strong winds are moving further down the country. So let's try and make sense of it. We'll start with the winds. This is Friday morning at 10 o'clock, and the areas that have got the strongest winds around the sort of red, darker colour here and the purple, which is sort of around 70 to about 110 k's an hour. That's the gusts. So pretty blustery conditions. Obviously though, these are mountain ranges or large hills, but many of you farm or live just to the west of them. So if you're on the western side, then these easterly winds are going to be pretty blustery on Friday. But they do ease further in the north as this low comes in. The low is weakening, but it's also going to get a little bit larger in size. So not as powerful, but a little bit bigger as we go on towards the weekend. And then it might deepen off the east coast of New Zealand. So I don't want to get ahead of myself. This is the Friday setup. The high is out to the east, the northeasterly flow encouraging showers and rain with that subtropical connection coming in around East Cape and Gisborne and Hawke's Bay and maybe some parts of Bay of Plenty. Dry spells behind it, and then later on another burst of showers, maybe some rain. Showers are less than half an hour, rain sort of lasts longer than that is a simple way of looking at it. And in the South Island, maybe a little bit warmer by a degree or two. It's not going to make a huge difference. It's been very gloomy and cold there, and I don't think North Islanders, especially those in the very north of the country, truly appreciate just how miserably cold it's been with single-digit highs. And some areas through Wanaka have had fog for 4 or 5 days, and other areas have had daytime highs of less than 5 degrees. So it's been cold, but you might notice a little bit more warmth, not much, as you go into the weekend. So Saturday sees this low moving in. As I say, it's getting a little bigger in size, but the central air pressure weakening a little bit. We've still got rain, still subtropical, so these areas will be quite mild as we head in towards Saturday. The South Island's got light winds, no real change there. It will still be a bit cold. Now on Sunday, the low, as I said, deepens as it goes a little bit larger in size. So now it's covering both the Tasman side of things and the Pacific. Air pressure's dropping out here, rain moves into the west coast, and a colder change is now moving into Southland. This rain will turn to snow later in the day up in the mountains, but in the North Island, not too bad. You've got a westerly blowing through and sunny and mild over along the eastern side of the North Island. So the rainfall totals between now and Sunday show a lot of rain. Look at that over there on the, I'll step on this side, but you can see the blue, the bright blue, which on the scale here is getting up well over 100 millimetres, maybe 150 millimetres still between now and Sunday. So plenty of rain falling in that area, and the darker blues and purples you see around Bay of Plenty and Hawke's Bay, that's sort of around the 50 to 90 millimetre mark. So still a fair bit of rain coming down, and the upper part of the South Island, but the lower portion, the dark blue, the green and the yellow, that's just a few showers or maybe up to about 10 millimetres. So as we carry on through into next week, Monday sees that low. It's all low pressure, but see how it's sort of moved back? That's because it's sort of going around itself. So it's a little complicated, but basically just imagine a big area of low pressure in here, and it's deepening a little bit in this area, so the winds pick up here. The windy weather is always between the centre of a low and the centre of a high. Unless you've got a storm coming in, then it's just around the low. But normal lows, the worst winds are halfway between the high and the low. So windy weather next week out at sea, and that's that start of that cold change. Snowy weather coming in, wintry weather coming in, and take a look when we get into Tuesday. You can see that rain continues around around Canterbury and Otago, and that area needs the rain. It's actually the last dry part of New Zealand. So if we can get rain in there for 2 days and a few more showers up here in the North Island, that looks pretty good. So our final map is for Wednesday of next week, and it shows still that cold, showery, windy, southerly, with low pressure now out on this side and high pressure down here, the squash zone halfway between. So Cook Strait, the lower North Island, it'll be a bit wintry next week. But there is a high coming. So between now and next week, pretty much more of the same. More showers, more cold weather, And then look at this, another big system behind it. So welcome to typical winter. If you need to drill down more, please go to ruralweather.co.nz or weatherwatch.co.nz. I'll see you on Friday.